From stories across the globe to stories here at home, this is the National News Broadcast. A very good evening to you. I'm Sharifah Tahir.
Good evening, I'm Lakshit Singha. We start off by taking a look at the headlines for tonight.
The President says speedy measures have to be taken to safeguard the electricity board from darkness. The Prime Minister reiterates no room should be left for the country to be reversed to an era of torment where freedom and democracy is trampled. Sajid Premadasa says that he will act in cooperation with all ethnic groups as a true Buddhist. Thunder showers are expected in many provinces tonight. Full ownership of the Ayodhya sacred site in India has been handed over to Hindu devotees.
Moving on to those and other stories in detail now. President Maithripala Sirisena says that speedy measures will have to be taken to salvage the electricity board from darkness, which is lighting the entire country. The president reiterates that the Sri Lanka electricity board has incurred a loss of 89 billion rupees by this year. He was addressing a ceremony at the BMICH in Colombo last evening. The event was conducted in connection with the unveiling of the book Viduli Puranaya, written by versatile researcher Ruben Vikramarachi. The work is comprised of important and true factors pertaining to electricity in Sri Lanka and the world since the prehistoric times. The author has presented the first copy of the book to the president. President Maithripala Sirisena said that there are several institutions which have become a burden to every government that came into power in the past 30 to 40 years. One of them is the Electricity Board. Other such institutions are the Petroleum Corporation, the Water Supply Board and the Sri Lankan Airlines. The President further said that there was another institute that was a burden on the Electricity Board and said it was the Public Utilities Commission. The President further said that this commission does not allow officials of the Electricity Board to take decisions in freedom. He also said that the Utility Commission is doing a business. This commission decides on how much units of electricity should be purchased from the private sector and the price of a unit of electricity. The President further said that he was not afraid to state these facts and he will remain in office only for another 10 days and asked anybody who wants to file court action against him to do so. He also said that now a book has been written on how to rescue the Electricity Board. He also said that institutions such as the Electricity Board enlarges poverty in the country. The President further said that whoever comes to power and whoever becomes the President, these are the major institutions that spreads poverty in the country. He further said that it is more difficult to safeguard the economy from these institutions than these institutions salvage from terrorism. Therefore, the President said that he appeals with dignity to all concerned by making a special program to protect the country from such organizations.
Meanwhile, Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe reiterates that the country should not be allowed to be brought back to the era of burden and darkness which fully toppled freedom and democracy of the people by the bullet. He was addressing a presidential propaganda meeting in Keselwatta, Maligawatta. Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe has inquired as to what Gotabaya Rajapakse is saying today about democracy. He has presented an 80-page election manifesto. He also said that the words democracy has been mentioned only once on page 9 of his policy statement. The Prime Minister further said that they have already unleashed a democratic rule that leads to national unity. He also said that people have to take a decision whether to protect and strengthen independent commissions, halting the country reverting to the era of white vans, and whether to protect or disappear media persons and to protect the freedom of the Supreme Court. The Prime Minister also said that safeguarding of defence is a major issue of this election. The Prime Minister added that there is national unity and reconciliation and the freedom to believe any religion of choice today.
Presidential candidate of the New Democratic Front, Sajid Premadasa, says that he is a true Buddhist and therefore acts in cooperation with all ethnic groups according to the teachings of the Buddha Dhamma. He reiterates that certain leaders spread racism as they are not true Buddhists. Sajid Premadasa was addressing a public rally in Amir Ali Stadium in Calcutta, Batticlaw today. Presidential candidate of the NDF, Sajid Premadasa, said that upon dawn of November 17th, the foundation stone will be laid for the Balacheni Fisheries Harbour with cold room facilities for the fishing community in the Calcutta area. He also said that on the 16th of this month, a strong Sri Lanka, which unifies 14,022 divisions in the 25 districts and the 9 provinces linking the north with the south and west with the east. He also said that the Lord Buddha had never preached to arouse racism and religious differences. Therefore, those who are spreading communalism are not Buddhists. He also said that prominence will be given to Buddhism and this philosophy will be protected. Sajid Premadasa also said that a civilized society which upholds humanity, totally eradicating communalism and religious differences, will be unleashed on the 16th of this month through their victory. Another public rally attended by Sajid Premadasa was held at Kaludawale Stadium in Patiripu, Batticlot today. The NDF candidate received a warm welcome from the people who assembled at the venue. Presidential candidate of the NDF, Sajid Premadasa, said that many have used the people in the north and the east as a political weapon. He also said that an important event that should have been conducted after the war in the north and the east was holding of an international aid conference. However, nobody held such an event. He also said that when they received a landslide victory on the 16th, the 2 separate international air conferences will be provided for the northern and eastern provinces, aid conferences rather. Sajid Premadasa further said that an excellent development program will be conducted in the northern and eastern provinces under his leadership. Sajid Premadasa was also warmly welcomed at another public rally held in Ampara yesterday to consolidate his victory. Presidential candidate of the NDF also said that he is contemplating on handing back to the cane farmers the land used for cane cultivation. Plans are underway to increase the amounts provided for 1 ton of cane harvest. He also said the deeds of the Galoya Plantation Company will be handed over to long-standing residents within 3 months upon assuming power.
Now, former President Chandrika Bandaranaike Kumartunga says that it is possible to nurture and propagate the policy and the vision of the Sri Lanka Freedom Party as it still pervades among rural and urban communities of the country. She made these remarks addressing a public meeting in Wennapua yesterday. Former President Chandrika Bandaranaike Kumartunga said that the SLFP vision has been implanted on the rural and urban level. She also said that the SLFP policy was like a massive tree and therefore it is impossible to remove all the roots of this gigantic structure. The former president further said that it is possible to re-strengthen this policy through the cooperation of all. However, such a task could not be fulfilled through the Pohottua party. She said that according to an agreement reached by the Pohottua group in the future elections, the number of positions to be given to SLFP candidates have been lower.
ඉතින් එහෙනම් මොකටද එකතු වෙන්නේ? ඌ කියනවා නම් මේ වාගේ ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ ආත්මගරුත්වය කෙලසනවා නම් අපිට හිතන්න පුළුවන් ඡන්දයක් වෙලාවකදී මොකද්ද කරන්න කියලා අපේ මිනිස්සුන්ට. 2015 මහින්ද වේදිකාවට කිය අපේ අයට ඡන්ද දෙන්න එපා කියලා. එහෙම තමයි මෙතුමාලා පැරද්දුවේ. පොහොට්ටුවයි ශ්‍රී ලංකා නිදහස් පක්ෂ කොටසකුයි ගිහිල්ලා අස්සම් කරපු ගිවිසුම. හංගගෙන ඉන්නේ දෙන්නේ නැහැ. අපි හොයාගත්තා. ඒකේ 12 වෙනි ඡේදය අනුව ලියලා තියෙන්නේ මින් ඉදිරියේ පවත්වන සෑම මැතිවරණයකදීම ශ්‍රී ලංකා නිදහස් පක්ෂය අපිට හම්බ වෙන්නේ අපේක්ෂක ගාන. කෝටායක පහුගිය ප්‍රාදේශීය සභා ඡන්දෙදී ශ්‍රී ලංකා නිදහස් පක්ෂය ගත්ත ඡන්ද අනුව අනුපාතිකව දෙන්නේ. දැන් මගේ ගම්පහ දිස්ත්‍රික්කයේ අපේක්ෂකව 23 දෙනෙක් දාන්න පුළුවන් 18 දෙනෙක් දිනනවා. එතකොට 23න් අපිට හම්බෙන්නේ මේ කොහොමද දිනපු අපි ගම්පහ දිස්ත්‍රික්ක. අපිට හම්බ වෙයි 3ක් හෝ 4ක් අපේක්ෂකව. ඔන්න පක්ෂේ මරපු හැටි. අපේ වුණුත් ගිහලා අස්සම් කරලා තප්පුලන් දිදී උඩ පැන කියනවා බොහොම හොඳයි අපි පොට්ටුවත් එක්ක ඉන්නවා කියලා. ඔන්න පක්ෂේ මරන්න පටන් ගත්ත තැන නීති අනුකූල. මේගොල්ලොත් එක්ක අපිට යන්න බෑ. ඔය ඔක්කොම හේතු නිසා. කීයටවත් ඒගොල්ලන්ට ඡන්දෙ දෙන්නත් බෑ. දෙන්න නම් එපා. එහෙමනම් කාටවත් දෙන්න කියලා තමුන්නාසලා තීන්දුව කරනවා.
ටික කාලයක් යනකොට පොට්ටුව බිහි වෙනකොට මම දැක්ක දෙයක් තමයි
Parliamentarian Kumara Welgama said that he felt that the Pohottua would prosper by fully destroying the SLFP. Therefore, he took steps to go against them. He said that he has got onto the stage to safeguard the SLFP and against family power. He also said that if they took a wrong decision in this election, they would be met with a fate that Tajuddin had met.
ශ්‍රී ලංකා නිදහස් පක්ෂය අපි අනිවාර්යයෙන්ම ආරක්ෂා කළ යුතු නිසා. ඉතින් දැන් තමුන්නාන්සලා දන්නවා මම මේකට විරුද්ධව කතා කරලා බැස්ස පළවෙනි මිනිහා මේ එන පෞල්වාදයට සමහර විට මේ ඡන්දේදී අපි වැරදි තීන්දුවක් ගත්තොත් මේ කතා කරන මටත් වෙන්නේ අර තාජුඩීන්ට වෙච්ච දේ තමයි. ඒක නිසා ඒක තමුන්නාන්සලාගේ අතේ තියෙන්නේ. තමුන්නාන්සලාට පුළුවන් පොඩ්ඩක් අතහිත දෙන්න කියලා අපිව දැම්ම මරන්න ලෑස්ති වෙන්න එපා කියන එක මම කියනවා.
A meeting of the organization to protect the SLFP titled Api Sri Lanka was held in Galle today. Former President Chandrika Bandaranaike Kumartunga has presided over the event. A group of members of the organization to protect the SLFP, including parliamentarian Kumara Welgama, have also participated in the event.
Presidential candidate of the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna Gotabaya Rajapakse says that a government under him will give prominence to agriculture. He was addressing a public rally in Dambulla last evening. Presidential candidate of the SLPP Gotabaya Rajapakse said that he wants to establish the fact that he will implement all the issues that I needs manifesto during his tenure. Prominence will be given to agriculture under his government. The SLPP candidate further said that they have decided to cancel all debts of farmers. The farmers' pension will be reintroduced. Gotabaya Rajapakse further said that greenhouses that enables to earn a higher income through a lower expenditure will be introduced. Similarly, proper water management, fertilizer management programs will be implemented. Technology will be introduced to secure high-quality seeds. He further said that he is a person who fulfills what he promises. Gotabaya Rajapakse also said that today farmers do not grow onions as they are being imported. He added that under his regime, Sri Lanka will be turned into an onion-growing land. He further said that byproducts will be manufactured from watermelon and tomatoes and other crops. He also said that a future government under this administration will turn a farmer into an entrepreneur.
අලවලින් මේ චිප්ස් වැනියව හදලා ඒ වගේම තක්කාලි අපි දන්නවා මාතලේ විසි කරලා දානවා ඒ වගේ අපිට සෝස් හදන්නට පුළුවන් කර්මාන්ත මෙන්න මේවට රජය ගෝවියා ව්‍යවසායක ව්‍යාපාරිකෙක් බවට අපි පත් කරනවා
Another public rally attended by Gotabaya Rajapakse was held in Nuwara town today. Presidential candidate of the SLPP Gotabaya Rajapakse said that there are 54,000 graduates. Plans are underway to provide employment to these graduates from the 1st of January. He further said that they have decided to give at least one employment opportunity to a family without employed members. All these measures are being taken to relieve the countrymen from poverty. A relief package has also been presented. He added that numerous facilities will be provided to numerous sectors. He has recalled that he took measures to resolve the housing problem while functioning as the Secretary to the Ministry of Urban Development and Defence Secretary. He added that large number of houses have been constructed on behalf of gallant soldiers under the Api Venuwen Api project. Ranaviru villages have also been constructed.
ඒ ශේෂ්ත්‍රවල විසඳන්නට විශාල නිවාස ප්‍රමාණයක් හැදුවා. එදා රණවිරුවන් වෙනුවෙන් අපි වෙනුවෙන් අපි වැඩ ව්‍යාපෘති යටතේ මුදල් හොයාගෙන රණවිරු ගම්මාන හැදුවා. ඒ වගේම සෑම දිස්ත්‍රික්කයකම රණවිරුවන් වෙනුවෙන් මම හොඳ නිවසක් මම ලබා දුන්නා. විශ්වය පුරා විහිදී ගියා බුදු ජන ජය රාවේ.
Polonnaruwa district public rally of the Podujana Peramuna was held under the leadership of Gotabaya Rajapakse last evening. United National Party parliamentarian Vasantha Senanayake has joined the meeting to extend support to Gotabaya Rajapakse.
Presidential candidate of the National People's Power, Anura Kumar Disanayake, says that recruitments to the state service will be based entirely on ability and educational qualifications under a government of his administration. He made these remarks addressing a public rally in Matara. Presidential candidate of the NPP, Anura Kumar Disanayake, said that today any person who goes to obtain services from a government servant will have to come home disgusted and fully tired. Therefore, he added that we all must get together to strengthen the state service. The NPP candidate further said that we must create an administration that gives priority to the skills, abilities and educational qualifications. He added that political meddling is the main reason for the collapse of state institutions. Those who were recruited as development officials are compelled to retire as mere development officials without any privileges and facilities. He also said that their aim is to create a satisfied state service where promotions are being given in due fashion.
And here are some opinions expressed by some of the presidential candidates. Presidential candidate of the National People's Party, Mahesh Senanayake, said that this is only the beginning and their campaign will continue after the election. He further said that at the parliamentary election they will change the composition of the parliament by displaying their power. Candidate Senanayake added that their aim is to fulfill the expectations of the people. Presidential candidate of the National Development Front, Rohan Pallewat, said that in an election there is nobody to talk on the rights of children, as children do not have voting rights in an election. He also said that we call ourselves of having free education. However, 40% of the expenditure of a one-child family is spent on education. This is the highest percentage spent on education in the entire world. Rohan Pallewat added that they won't change this situation. Trainee workshop on short-term monitoring by teams of international observers engaged in the observation of the presidential election was held in Colombo today. It has been organized by the Asian Election Monitoring Network. Observers from 18 countries belonging to 4 election monitoring teams participated in the workshop. These groups will engage in poll monitoring covering the entire island. The monitoring teams include representatives from the Commonwealth, the European Union and the Election Organizing Association.
We came to observe the elections in Sri Lanka, and this is, I understand, the 11th observation mission here. We have been actively involved in Sri Lankan elections as part of our Asian concern. The Asian Network for Free Election was primarily organized to support democratization efforts in the Asian region. For these elections, we are fielding 45 observers all over the country. We will issue a report, a preliminary report, on what we have observed the pre-election period, on election day, and even the processes after the counting. I said preliminary report because a final report will be issued when the entire electoral process is completed. The value of election observation is you have international observers who are detached from local issues, you might say. And therefore, they look at it from the point of view of international practices and principles. While election laws vary from place to place, there are what you call accepted principles that can apply to all. For instance, universality of suffrage, respect for human rights, the inclusion rather than exclusion of participation, etc.
In more local stories, wearing of poppy flowers in parallel to the International Poppy Day commemoration was held in temple trees today. A poppy flower was pinned on the Prime Minister by the chairman of the Sri Lanka Armed Forces Commemoration Committee, Rear Admiral Dr. Hemal Fernando. The annual progress report of the Sri Lanka Ex-Servicemen Association was also presented to the Prime Minister on this occasion. General Secretary of the Association, Lieutenant Colonel Ajit Siyamalapitiya, and other members has also attended the ceremony.
A workshop on how to treat patients suffering from atrial fibrillation using left atrial appendage occlusion device, the M-Platz amulet, was held at the cardiology unit of the National Hospital of Sri Lanka this morning. Cardiologists of the National Hospital of Sri Lanka, Dr. Gotabaya Ranasinghe, and foreign consultants from India and Australia have taken part in the workshop. The two medical professionals took part in the workshop were Consultant Electrophysiologist Dr. Vincent Paul of the Royal Park Hospital, Australia, and Consultant Cardiologist of Manipal Hospital, Bangalore, and Head of the Department of Cardiology, Professor Ranjan Shetty. 4 patients who have been afflicted with this cardiac problem were treated on this occasion. It has also been pointed out that from today onwards, this treatment facility is available to all Sri Lankans who suffer from stated cardiac issue, completely free of charge, and it is only available at the National Hospital of Sri Lanka.
In terms of workflow.
Yeah, but otherwise 99% of your cases, we just use that dump.
Leaves the appendage
We all wanted new technologies to introduce to this country. So I always believe that our career is a challenge. So we have to dare it. And also I strongly believe that our career is a promise. So we have to fulfill it. We have to fulfill it for younger generation. So we are doing this as a part of the same theme and to introduce these new technologies for younger generation. We will stay here, introduce, and we leave behind our legacies and for younger people. That's the biggest, I think it's one of the duties we could ever do to our profession and juniors and our patients. So therefore, we officially started today, and quite happy actually. And so once we start this program today, the whole day we'll have, and after that I think we are going to do it regularly, so especially Colombo National Hospital, and then after that probably peripheries as well.
Atrial fibrillation is a quivering or irregular heartbeat that can lead to blood clots, stroke, heart failure, and the heart-related complications. Millions of Sri Lankans are reported to be living with AF condition. Atrial fibrillation is a new method of monitoring of the change in the heartbeat, which has been introduced for the National Hospital for the first time. In some instances, blood clots are formed in heart patients, which subsequently reaches the brain and cause strokes. The medicine warfarin has been given to confront this condition. It has also been reported that the new method enables patients to go without warfarin in their entire lifespan through the administering of the new system. It has also been stated that some patients do not like to take warfarin, calling it track poison. This may also lead to brain hemorrhage. The new device inserted through the left atrial enables to halt blood clotting and restore normal heartbeat.
Unveiling of the book titled Aragaleyata Yukthiya, or Justice to the Struggle, regarding the death of youth Roshan Chanaka by police shooting in a worker agitation in the Katunayaka Free Trade Zone took place in Jayala yesterday. The book has been published by the Right to Life Human Rights Centre. Attorney-at-Law Dulan Dasanayake has compiled the work. First copy of the book was presented to the mother of Roshen Chanaka. A group of civil activists have attended the event. Attorney-at-Law Janaka Edirisinghe said that the Defence Secretary during the regime of Mahinda Rajapakse had turned Sri Lanka into the most beautiful and cleanest city in Asia. He also said that their policy statement says that other towns will also be reconstructed in the same manner. He added that, however, Colombo city was beautified by turning blocks of metal on the heads of beggar communities at night.
මම කොළඹ නගරය ඒ විදිහට දැකුම් කළු පවිත්‍ර පිවිතුරු පිරිසුදු නගරයක් බවට පත් කළා. ඒ විදිහටම අනිත් ලංකාවේ නගර ටිකත් එහෙම හදන්න මට බලය දෙන්න. මම කියන්නම් කොහොමද මේ නගර පිරිසුදු වෙන්නේ කියලා. තැන්වල නගරවල සහ පාරවල් වල යාචකයෝ ඉන්නවා. ඇහැ පිය වුණාම නිින්ද ගියාම ලොකු කළු ගලක් අරන් ඇවිත් නිදාගෙන ඉන්න මිනිහාගේ ඔළුව උඩට අතහැරලා නගරේ ලස්සනයි. නගරේ කොතනකවත් වැරහැලි පෙරාගත්ත හිඟන්නේක් නැහැ. නගරේ ලස්සනයි. අපිට තේරෙනවා මේ එන්නේ මොකටද කියලා. ඒ නිසා අපි හරි තීරණයකට එන්න.
Professor Chandragupta Tenuara said that he thinks that it is more prudent to take the correct decision at the threshold of a presidential election rather than congratulating Dulan Dasanayake for writing a book of this nature. Chandragupta Tenuara added that he needs more protection at this moment due to the distorted usage of the word Ranavirugaya coined by him in a previous occasion. He also said that those who ruled the country through abuse of gallant soldiers and police are trying again to recapture power. He has also appealed to vote for the Swan in order to safeguard the freedom achieved on the 8th of January 2015. Meanwhile, the Department of Meteorology forecast on the possibility of thunder and lightning with heavy rainfall in the central Sabaragamuwa, western, southern Uva, northwestern and north-central provinces, as well as in several locations in the districts of Mana, Vaunia and Mulathiu tonight. Rainfall between 50 to 75 millimeters could be expected in the western, Sabaragamuwa, Uva and central provinces and several places in the Galle and Matra districts. Short-term, fairly strong winds of the speeds between 70 to 80 kilometers per hour may accompany thunder showers and lightning. The department cautions the general public to follow safety measures at times of thunder and lightning. And that's all the stories we have for you tonight. We'll see you tomorrow at the very same time. Good night.
Good night.